Hello guys, and today I'm going to be looking at a little bit of an older power station. This is the EcoFlow River Pro. So I'm going to be doing just some fun tests on it, so let's get into it. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and check the voltage of the AC on the EcoFlow River Pro. So right here we have your 3 AC plugs and the AC button. You can see the light is on, indicating that it is on. I'm simply going to just stick those 2 in. And now we are getting 120.5 volts. So I like to see that steadiness in the voltage. So let's test the voltage on the DC output. Alright, so right here is your DC barrel plug. Let's test the voltage on that. Turn it on. Alright, so you can see we're getting 13.54 volts steady. I like to see that voltage be really close to 12, which that looks good. Alright, so this next test is I'm going to be testing the sine wave. So I'm pretty sure that this has a pure sine wave, but let's find out. Got this little oscilloscope off of Amazon, so I'm just gonna stick in the probes. 1 and 2. Alright, so here's our sine wave. So that's a nice pure sine wave. I like to see that on power stations. Alright, so next we are going to be doing an overload test. Alright, first I'm going to be plugging in on electric griddle. So I'm going to start by turning it to 200 degrees. So we're outputting 597 watts. I'm going to go grab another heater. Alright, so the unit is now maxed out at 600 watts. 1 griddle and a small heater. So I'm going to go ahead and unplug the griddle. Now we're only outputting 280 watts. 290, almost 300. So I'm going to plug in the griddle. So the inrush current there was, I think, 1100 watts. Which is pretty crazy. So now it's maxing out at 600 watts even. It's handling it really well. I'm going to unplug the devices now. I also have the EcoFlow River Pro's expansion. So I'm going to go ahead and plug this in, and it should automatically connect. Right down there is where we're going to plug it in. Alright, well, that's in. So now we can see the percentage will change on your unit. That is because it combines the 2 units' battery life and comes up with an average percentage for the 2. The next test, I'm going to be using my small Sportsman generator and just charging it up. As you can see, it says 73%, so that needs some charge. So I'm going to see if it's easy to start. It's ready. There it is. So the generator is started. So I'm going to plug it in now. I think after a minute, let it warm up. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and plug it in. Alright, so now I'm going to plug it in right here. Let's see the wattage that we are getting. Oh, I heard the generator change its pitch. Alright, so we are at 400, 500, 611 watts. So the generator's cranking away, doing its job. So I'm just gonna let this charge up for a little while out here. Then we'll move on to the next test. Our next test is going to be a solar test. So we're going to just be using a 25 volt panel, plugging it into the EcoFlow River Pro. Alright, so right there on the side, as you can see, we have your XT60 port. I'm going to check the voltage on our panel. Alright, we are running at 23.96 volts. That is a safe voltage to plug in the solar panel to the power station. Alright, here we go. Plugged in. Alright, something is happening there. It appears that we are getting 50 watts from this semi-cloudy day. Kind of through the tree too. So 50 watts right there. That's pretty good. It's a 100-watt panel, so we're getting half of the actual panel's rating. All right, well, I'm gonna let this charge up because it's at 51%, so I want it to charge up. Well, if you guys like seeing content like this, please subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next one.